Hello, everybody, and welcome. It has been a very long time since I streamed last. I put on my shiniest coat for today and my weirdest glasses just because I wanted to. It is exciting to see so many people in already. Today we're going to be doing our first ever Homebrew Helper, where I will be homebrewing content live from your suggestions, or from a list of suggestions that I have here. I will also be reviewing any homebrew content that you want to submit to me of your own creation, helping to tweak, to edit, and taking your suggestions into account as we help you build your homebrew. For today's stream, I brought in Aylin, one of my players from the campaign. Aylin, you want to say hello?
Hello.
Hello. Aylin, or Maru, is an experienced DM in his own right. I play in his game on Monday, and he has a lot of experience homebrewing as well, so he'll be helping me out today and bringing some suggestions and homebrews of his own. Excellent. Well, before we get started, just a quick shout out to Ian Fisher. Thank you once again for providing the license for the music that we are using in the background today. Anybody who wants to should check out Ian Fisher's music. They are... oh goodness. A different name on YouTube, so give me 2 seconds. I was unprepared. Here we are, Tabletop RPG Music. If you want to check them out on YouTube or on Patreon, they do some excellent work if you need backgrounds for your own home games. So, to kick off, if we have any early suggestions for homebrew content, all I really need is an image, a name, anything, and I can start building from practically nothing. Otherwise, I have a list of content that we can use, or Maru, if you want to bring in some of your own homebrews, then we can start out with that.
Let's see.
Let me double check that everything's working. Test, yes. Okay. I don't see any suggestions just yet, so we're gonna go ahead and kick off with... Maru, would you rather launch right into things and start going through some of the lists that I have, or do you want to throw out those homebrews of your own and see about tweaks and balance?
I would be interested in the little bit of tweaks and balances that I have for some of the homebrew that I've got.
Okay.
So I would start off probably with the Varen that I have. Varen is a unique race. In their true form, they were red-maned Leonin beasts with skin like bronze metal from the Feywild that have come to the Primaterial Plane and have taken human form. Their skin was said to be as strong as steel, and upon arriving in this world, oh, I already said that, they take human shape. Normally their hair is red, their eyes are golden or red as well, but as far as the class goes, they are usually have a very strong natural physique and are very durable individuals. So I like to think this class is fairly balanced, but, or sorry, not class, this race is fairly balanced, but I wonder what people think. So,
Okay.
at the moment, I have your choice of increasing your, what was it? Oh, your choice of strength score increases by 2, and your dexterity increased by 1, or your strength increased by 1 and your dexterity increased by 2. So you get to choose which one, based on the type of Varen you are. They have a base walking speed of 40 feet, and they have a flat jumping height of 30 feet, being naturally agile,
Mm-hmm.
having insane leaps. They've got dark vision and enhanced senses, giving them advantage on perception checks when hearing or smelling.
Can
Then,
you, I think that I have the wrong document pulled up for this. Can you link me to the correct ones so that I can be reading along beside you?
sure.
Fabulous.
So they have the enhanced senses, giving them dark vision and advantage on perception checks on hearing or smelling. They have strong legs is this feature name. Their legs are incredibly powerful, and because of this, they don't take any fall damage up to 200 feet. And on anything further than 200 feet, they get to make a Constitution saving throw, determined by the GM. And on a successful save, they would only take half the damage. And then the last ability is called High Impact. Once per short rest, you can strike the earth with your powerful legs or arms and cause a earth tremor. You could either travel in a 30-foot line, or whenever you fall, to create a 10-foot radius around you to make a dexterity and enemies make a dex save equal to your strength plus your proficiency. On a failed, they take 1d10 plus your character level in damage and are knocked prone, and the area around you, it becomes difficult terrain in that 10-foot radius.
All right. Okay, and I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at the fairies because, but I am seeing all of this now. Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay. Let's start from the top then. So we have the ability score increase, choice of strength increased by 2, or dexterity increased by 1, or strength increased by 1 and dexterity increased by 2. I actually quite like that. I mean, that's in line with the balance of other races. Is a +1 and a +2. And it's interesting and unique that you get to choose one or the other, which, you know, when creating something new, you always want a little bit of uniqueness, a reason to choose this over other things. So that is a fairly, I'd say that is fair.
Yeah. And you're not just locked into being like, oh, I picked this, like, oh, I guess I'm like an orc, where I'm locked into just strength.
Exactly. And I do like that it does keep the focus, however, on, you know, both of the physical skills. It doesn't, like, jump into mental. Okay, so we have aging at the same rate as humans. That's fine. Age doesn't usually factor into balance anyway. Size is medium. Fantastic. Base walking speed of 40 feet and a jumping height of 30 feet. The only thing that I'd say there is a clarification of you have a flat vertical jump of 30 feet just to keep language consistent with the system. I don't think that I necessarily see an issue. I mean, there are ways that it can be cheesed, but not really in any way like that a monk already can't. So,
See,
rather, that a monk can't do better.
now this class makes for I keep saying class. This race makes for a really good monk because you already have a vertical jumping height of 30 feet, and then you use Step of the Wind.
True. No, and I would potentially put the clarification in there that, well, I don't know how to clarify. I don't know if it's really going to be an issue, but just, ensure that it's clear that if your typical vertical jump would exceed 30 feet, you can go more than 30 feet. But I really don't think that's going to be an issue that is bumped into.
Right.
Now, as for enhanced senses, dark vision out to 60 feet. Not bad. So many races of dark vision anyway. The advantage on perception checks when hearing or smelling. I would say pick one or the other, because perception... So perception on scent, like having advantage perception on scent in some races, is very interesting, and it kind of forces occasionally the DM to remember to include those sorts of things, to include scent into their setting, which is something that is often ignored. However, with hearing is something that is used incredibly frequently, and that can be cheesed if you have advantage on perception checks. Very easily. So I might consider with everything else that they have, removing the hearing advantage. Because they have quite a lot when you get down into the strong legs. You don't take fall damage up to 200 feet. And then on larger falls, roll a Constitution saving throw. On a successful save, you only take half the damage you normally would. I would have that to 100 feet, because 200 feet is a lot. That is a 20-story building. That's a skyscraper.
Okay, fair.
100 feet is still a lot. That'll be fine.
And I think I should maybe clarify the con save that you would have to succeed, because it just says on larger falls roll a con save on a successful and you only take half, and it's like,
yeah.
I mean, what kind of con save should a GM put for that? Because a fall of beyond 100 feet should already be very difficult.
Yeah, so I would say, on a larger fall, roll a Constitution saving throw. I would say 5 plus 1 for every 10 feet fallen. So at slightly over 100 feet, that would be a DC 15, and then it would increase by 1 for every other 10 feet fallen. So once you get to a 150 foot fall, you're dealing with a DC 20 Constitution save.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see.
Hello, Gift of Gabby. It's wonderful to see you. I'm doing fantastic. If you're not aware, today is the Homebrew Helper stream. Please feel free to submit your suggestions. Right now, we are working on a homebrew class created by... Thank you. You're making me mess it up now. A homebrew race created by my friend and player here, Maru, fellow GM. And we are just doing some tweaks. I will take suggestions in the form of images, names, brief descriptions, anything you want, and we will build live for you.
Yes. Oh, I think we should do some moon runes after this.
Oh, perhaps. That one, so... I don't think that I'll touch on moon runes today, because moon runes is something that I plan to release through Patreon, and everything that I am creating today is going to be released free within the next week, and moon runes are nowhere near completion anyway.
Okay.
A witch class. I've seen a couple of witch classes, Gabby, and all of them have been fantastically different. So if you would like for me to talk about yours, to help you tweak it here, you are welcome to put the link to that in here, and we can go over it on stream. Getting back to the Viren, though, so we have next high impact, the last thing on the list. Once per short rest, you can strike the earth with your powerful legs or arms, causing an earth tremor. You can travel in a 30-foot line or when falling, you can affect all creatures in a 10-foot radius around you that must make a dexterity saving throw. With a language just needs to be tweaked here. You can travel in a 30-foot line. Yeah, I think that whole thing just needs to be reworked on language. Let's try. As part of your movement, you can travel in a 30-foot line, or if you are falling, you can create an impact in a 10-foot radius around you. So here's the thing about the 30-foot line. It doesn't say, like, do you have to touch the creatures that you're affecting? Is it, like, any creature that's within 5 feet of you? How does that work?
It's, let's see. So, like, think of, like, a lightning, like, a line-based spell, like lightning bolts, you know, and
Sure.
a 30-foot line creature, so I guess it'd be 30-foot long, 5-foot wide, and then people within that area would have to make the dex save, and then if you are falling, which the Varen can jump 30 feet, so they
Right.
jump up 30 feet, and then they fall down, and they can cause an impact in a 10-foot radius around where they land. So one or the other, and
Right, so the issue that I'm seeing here is it says you can travel in a 30-foot line. So what I'm envisioning is you pick a point 30 feet away and you run that distance. Now, we need to... does this provoke attacks of opportunity? Can you pass through creature spaces? Because typically you cannot. And if this is only a 30-foot line, then you would have to be able to.
yeah.
So you need to make those clarifications. So it should be, as part of your movement, you can travel in a 30-foot line without provoking attacks of opportunity. No, let's see. You can travel in a 30-foot line. During this movement, you can pass through creature spaces, and you do not provoke attacks of opportunity.
Okay, and then also when falling, you can create a impact in a 10-foot radius around you.
Let's see. Alternately, so yeah, alternately.
Yeah.
If you are falling, you can create an impact in a 10-foot radius around you.
Mm-hmm. And then
all affected, and then the rest would just be as is. All affected creatures must make a dexterity saving throw with a DC equal to your proficiency plus. So is that proficiency plus strength flat out? So if they had a 20 on strength, they would get up to a 25 eventually?
Oh god, no. It's just like,
It's a strength bonus?
actually, it should actually be like 8 plus proficiency plus strength.
There you
or
go.
something.
8 plus proficiency plus your strength bonus.
And then not a failed save.
Thank you for the
D10
follow.
plus
It's
character level.
DMK, and Gabby, I will be getting to your witch class very shortly. We're just going to finish out this race. Yeah, so then on a failed save, they take 1d10 plus... Ooh, that's a lot. 1d10 plus your character level?
That's... Okay. At max, at level 20, it is 30 damage. You know, and then at level 10, at max, that's only 20 damage. You know...
On multiple creatures in a 10-foot radius, that's equivalent to something like a 4th or 3rd level spell.
No, not that high.
In a 10-foot radius?
And a 10-foot radius. Okay, first of all, like, it's hard to compare it to something like
I would
Fireball,
just so I would
and the damage
honestly
is way less.
I would honestly um for remember racial features are usually much smaller. I mean, like we have like what the Tabaxi get claws. They do a D4 damage plus like their strength mod. So I would say if you still want to make it powerful, I'd be more okay with balance if you removed the 1d10 and just made it your character level.
So at level 1, you use this, and then it's just like, eh.
Well,
and
yeah,
then
but
and then you're
also
knocked prone.
do keep in mind. Yeah, knocked prone, that's huge. Also, being able to move 30 feet without attacks of opportunity and through other creatures is also big at level 1. So this is still a powerful ability.
And it does cause the area affected to become difficult terrain.
Yeah. Like, honestly, with everything involved here, it's verging on too much still, even with the tweaks, but I'd say, like, given the power level of your campaign that I am familiar with, it would be okay. Some DMs may not want to include this in their setting, that's all. But I think that that's really all the tweaks that it needs, and now I would like to move on to Gabby's
witch class.
Yes, witch class. And
it's witch, not witcher.
It is witch, not witcher. Thank you for the submission, it's DMK. We are going to do Gabby's witch class really quick, and then I will certainly let you know what I think of your spell. I'm excited to see. So, witch class. Witch covens. We have here many covens or groups of witches teach in secret due to the common mistrust that there are many schools of study around the world for aspiring witches. Although rare, these groups can usually be found hidden away in areas of seclusion. They are a select few open to the public, the largest of which being located on the Thorn Islands. Interesting. Covens or groups of witches can be of any studies that want to work together. Witch covens of an area on the night of a full moon gather to convene, to talk, discuss their plans, and date among each other if they are of age. So as a witch myself, hello, I really enjoy that little bit of flavor. Let's get into it. We have hit points. 1d6 per witch level. Fantastic. Standard for a full caster. First level 6 plus con mod. Fabulous. So we have no proficiencies for armor. That's fine for a full caster. Weapons, blowguns, daggers, quarterstaves, sickle, spear, and whip. Interesting. I like that. I think it would be very interesting to see witch running around with a whip. I think that's very fitting. I would 100%. I would 100% play a witch running around with a whip.
Two of them.
That is excellent. Yeah, 2 whips, dual wielding whips.
Hell yeah.
So tools, choose 2 from alchemist supplies, herbalism kit, or poisoner's kit. Very appropriate. Saving throws are wisdom and charisma. And for skills, we choose 2 from animal handling, history, insight, intimidation, perception, medicine, nature, religion, and survival. Okay. I'm going to grab my player's handbook and just check one thing. Yes, thank you for that suggestion there, Maru.
Wait, for what?
I can see you putting in the comma.
Oh.
3, 4, 5, 6. So, the one thing that I would say, typically when you're looking at full casters, let me double check sorcerer as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. Typically when you're looking at full casters, when you're selecting skills, you get about 6 to choose from. This class has 9. Now, I don't mind having a couple of extra skills to choose from when they fit into the class. Animal handling, insight, perception, medicine, nature, religion, survival, all of those fantastic. History, I'd even say yes. I'd say cut it down to 8 at the most by removing intimidation. Although
Yeah.
I can see how it factors in, people might be afraid of witches depending on the setting. It that's the one that makes the most sense for me to remove, and that makes it a little bit more balanced in selection.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I agree with that. Spellcasters, they have a smaller number of skills to choose from.
Yeah. Alright, equipment. You start with the following equipment in addition to the equipment granted by a background: a dagger or a blowgun. Alright, component pouch or a druidic focus. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Alchemist supplies, the herbalism kit, or the poisoner's kit. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
You start with the witch's supplies kit, which includes a backpack, bedroll, 10 candles, a tinderbox, 10 torches, a pouch of herbs, 10 days of rations, a cauldron, and just a suggestion there for spelling.
Do you mean you get to walk around with a big old cauldron?
I mean, it doesn't have to be big.
I
There we go.
like the
And a
idea of
water
it being
skin.
big.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, carry on a gigantic cauldron. So cauldron would be... my suggestions aren't working for some reason. Cauldron. The pack also has 50 feet of hempen rope strapped to the side of it. Fabulous. RON. And then that will be correct. Alright. So we have our standard proficiency bonus spread. We have a standard set of... Oh, sorry, double checking one thing. Yes, that is correct. So the standard spread of spell slots for a full caster looks good.
I think the cantrips are a little less than like a wizard.
Yeah, a
Or
wizard would
even
get...
a sorcerer.
A wizard would get 5, starting
A
at
sorcerer
10th level. A sorcerer, which I think would be more in
gets
line.
6. Well, a warlock does get the same as this class in terms of cantrips known, but looking like it's a spellcaster, like a full caster,
Yeah.
might increase their cantrips known to at least 5, because
Yeah, I'd say...
wizards get 5.
Yeah, wizards get 5. Wizards get cantrips really quick. So what I would say... because I haven't looked at the other features yet, which will be important to the balancing. But I would say... Let's see, we get 3 starting at 5th level, 4 starting at 9. Then I'd say at level 14 you get your 5th cantrip. So a little bit later than wizards, but you end up with 5 like a wizard.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right.
But I'm a little curious as to the reasoning for the cantrip progression.
Sure. And I mean, if you had a reasoning, then by all means, this is meant to be a discussion as well. You can tell me in the comments if I make a comment about changing something and you had a reason for it being in there. I would love to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on. We have witches' brews and bouillons. You have spent many years learning to brew and concoct virulent and powerful potions. Your training has taught you how to create batches of experimental brews on short notice. Beginning at 1st level, during a long rest, you can craft a batch of concoctions from the concoctions table below. This takes 1 hour. To craft poisons, you need a poisoner's kit. To craft potions, you need either an alchemist kit. So that should probably say either an alchemist kit or an herbalist kit. Herbalist kits give you advantage for finding ingredients. Unless that was meant to be, to craft potions you need an alchemist kit, and having an herbalist kit gives you advantage on finding the ingredients. Okay. That makes sense then. Okay, yeah. No, that makes sense to me. Simple and easy, nothing too complex. Now, in my game, I like to. None of my players do potions, but I have a system for it, which involves like an actual ingredients list, and you have to collect all of the ingredients for the potions, and then you make checks, and depending on the kit that you have, you may not be able to produce certain potions, poisons, the like.
Now, I actually have a question. This feels like just the
Oh, I
base
see.
version of creating potions. The only difference is that it looks like at 5th level, you only need the ingredients that cost half of the potion's worth. Um, which that's like a cool new addition to it, but like all of these potions that are listed, the concoctions known, I guess it does depend on the system that you're using, but
Well,
like technically they're already available.
so if I can double back on that though, the significant like bonus here that the witches get is typically potions like according to the rulebook take anything above like the standard
Hmm.
potions take several days to brew, and this specifically you can brew them during a long rest. So that is a massive improvement.
Okay.
Also, uh, Gabby did reply about the cantrips. It's based on the druid table, which is correct. That does follow the druid table.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah, so then I'll take a look through the features in here. I think that the druid's cantrip like amount is the way that it is because they get their wild shape, and so they're going to have like natural abilities. They don't really need to touch cantrips as much. It balances out, but that doesn't like losing out on one cantrip versus a wizard isn't really going to hurt you anyway.
Yeah.
You can only make one of each type of potion. You need ingredients that cost half of the potion's worth. Going back to what you said, oh, I see. A lot of the potions are from your subclasses. Okay. Then I'll be very interested to see those. I might also, well, you know what? We'll come back to it when we have finished reading subclasses and all that. Spellcasting ability, Wisdom, makes sense. Preparing and casting spells. Okay, so, and they're an instinctual caster, so they don't know spells, they select them, they prepare them. Got it. Fantastic. Alright. So let's move into the features. We have throw potions. At level 1, you gain the ability to throw bottles at friends and foes. Love that. Because I'm just imagining healing potions smashing against your friends' heads. That is excellent.
I love that. You just here, have a healing potion. Wait, what? Just like crash, like just like throw it in their face,
Yes.
and then they're like, "Wait, I feel better, even though I have shards of glass in my face."
So I might tweak the language a little bit here. It says because of training, ranged dagger throws and thrown bottles, you gain proficiency in making ranged attacks with potions or concoctions. These training sessions let you use your wisdom as you use a small bit of magic to throw the bottles and have a range of 60 feet. Concoctions can be thrown as a bonus action.
That's pretty great.
That is, yes. So I would just work on the language here. Let's see. Rather than saying like because of training, ranged dagger throws and thrown bottles, I would say you have trained to apply. Here, let me see if I can make a comment on the language here. Suggestions. Can I? Okay.
I also got an idea for that second paragraph.
Okay. So let's see, you have trained to apply your magic to let's see. No, let's see. Trained to use magic to ensure the accuracy of your thrown concoctions. And then it would be you gain proficiency in improvised thrown weapons, which would be these bottles, and may use your your wisdom bonus instead of dexterity when making improvised attacks with thrown when making attacks with improvised thrown weapons. Your concoctions have a range of 60 feet.
God.
And
Wait.
may be thrown as a...
Does this mean
Actually,
that
here we
the
go.
witch? Does this mean that the witch could also, like, throw brooms or cups or chairs at people?
Okay, yes, because so this actually makes it a little bit funnier because then it's all improvised thrown weapons, not just concoctions. Unless you want to turn it into, like, rather than improvised thrown weapons, make it
potion bottles.
Yeah. So, and Gabby, I put my suggestion in the comment there for the exact language that I would use. You can tweak that to fit your style a little bit more if you want. Let's see. Yeah. You can throw a potion. Let's see. Yeah, and then we'll edit the language of the second part. Oh, did my comment just vanish?
I think so.
Oh no! I don't know why it's doing that.
Also, I would say that, like, I don't think the second effect is necessary, because if you are already gaining proficiency in, like, throwing these bottles, then whenever you are trying to throw a bottle at an enemy, it would just be a ranged attack instead of, like, a dexterity save.
Yeah, so you don't really need the dexterity saving throw. Because you're already making a ranged attack against them, so actually adding that makes it significantly harder to hit the enemy, because then you have to beat their AC and they get a dex saving throw. I think what you were attempting was, you can just change that to, if a creature is willing, you may automatically succeed on your attack against them. That way, if you have an ally, then you can just throw a healing potion at them and you don't have to worry about beating their AC.
And then I do have a question. What happens to the potion bottle if you miss? Does it shatter? Do you waste a potion? Do you lose it? Or does it stay intact?
Well, I'm very certain that it would shatter. It's glass.
But
I think that
you're throwing it with magic and whatnot, so, and let's just say, because you are limited in the number of concoctions that you have each day, so if you only have like 4 or 5 concoctions and you miss it and it shatters, well, that sucks.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you can create a number equal to your proficiency bonus.
So, I don't see the link that allows edit access, but I'm just going to go ahead and do the request edit access. There you go. My message says it me. let us take a brief pause on the class because we have a spell and I don't want to leave its DMK waiting too long. So Maru, if you want to fix some of the, if you want to take edit permission and fix some of the language, I am going to take a look at this spell.
Okay.
So we have Electroweb submitted by its DMK 410. Thank you for the submission. Electroweb, second level spell, casting time 1 action, range of 60 feet, verbal and somatic components. We have duration of 1 minute, no concentration. An electrified burst of sticky web flies from your hand towards a target. Make a ranged spell attack. On a hit, the target takes 1d8 lightning damage and is restrained. A creature restrained by the webs can use an action to make a strength check against your spell save DC. If it succeeds, it is no longer restrained and the spell ends. If it fails, the creature takes 1d4 lightning damage. Interesting. When you cast a spell using a spell slot of 3rd level or higher, the target takes an additional 1d8 lightning damage on the initial hit, an additional 1d4 on a failed strength check for each slot level above 2nd. Okay, in terms of damage, I would say the balance... Yeah, the balance looks good. My interest is in it being called Abjuration. I would fit this into the school probably of either Evocation or Conjuration, considering it summons a web that restrains the creature and it does lightning damage. Either of those two components, you have the lightning as Evocation, you have summoning the web as Conjuration. I don't think it really fits Abjuration, but really that's my only note on this. I think that it's a great spell.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my only suggestions. Now, back to the witch class. Let's see if I can actually add it now. Oh, good. Those edits are in.
Yeah.
You can.
Uh.
Yeah, and then we will remove
The
that.
the effect of them needing to make a dexterity save.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I still don't have edit permission. Oh no. I don't know why. Maybe I just need to reload.
You know, looking... Well, actually, I'll wait before moving ahead, but I'm looking at Curses of Wrath and Freedom from Curses.
Oh. Oh, I see. No, that's... Well... I just won't be able to edit for now. That's okay. Curses of Wrath and Freedom from Curses. We'll move on to suggestions for the next thing. At level 5, you gain access to Bestow Curse and Remove Curse. These are always prepared, and they don't count against the number of spells you can prepare each day. They are witch... and just the language in line with the book would be, these are considered witch spells for you. Consistency within the 5e system is important because the little differences in language are, what resolve those issues of, but can it do this?
Yeah.
But does it mean this? So let's see, we have Bestow Curse on just... Hope Bestow Curse. 3rd level necromancy. Yeah. And Remove Curse is 3rd level as well, if I recall.
It is.
Okay. You said that you had a comment on this, Maru?
Yeah, it feels a little underwhelming for an ability. Like, usually, because some, like, for example, getting additional spells to your, like, permanent spell list is usually in the archetype. And having it as, like, your 5th level class ability, like, usually when you hit 5th level in a class, it's like you get your extra attack, or you get this nice class ability, and just gaining access to bestow curse and remove curse, which I'm assuming would already be in the spell list, just feels a little underwhelming. So I'm wondering if maybe like the fact that you gain access to these two spells, and then maybe witches are able to do something different with curses, like maybe they're able to
Oh, you know what?
uh
I have a
hmm,
suggestion on that front, actually. Um, let me whip out. I have a very special thing that can be done with curses. So, I'd say that Maru is right. It's underwhelming for 5th level ability. I would maybe swap that like into a subclass, have it as part of your well, I mean, witches don't have domains, but you know what I mean. Domain spells, the
archetype.
spells, yeah. In your archetype, they are always prepared.
Uh,
Let me locate.
I actually think they should get this as an ability, but it should have like something on top of it. Like maybe witches are able to have these additional abilities with bestow curse and remove curse that no one else has. Like, oh, they have bestow curse, but when they cast bestow curse, they can affect multiple people or something like that.
Well,
Because
okay, so
normally
I'm.
bestow curse is one
Give me
first
a
level.
minute. Give me a minute because I'm
Hmm. Okay.
trying to find the thing. There's a curse thing. Let's see.
Look through. Let me
Here we
find
are.
my curses.
Yes, no. So I actually, as part of a, so Maru, you're familiar with my Cheshires. The Deathwalker,
Uh-huh.
as one of their boons, can take what's called Nightmarish Curse. I think something like this would work brilliantly for that 5th level thing. Nightmarish Curse. As part of a ritual, you may take a small object worth at least 15 gold pieces and inscribe the name of a creature upon it in a 10-minute ritual. Then bury this item beneath the ground. For the next week, at precisely midnight each night, the creature suffers nightmarish visions of its own death. The creature must make a wisdom saving throw or suffer 1 level of exhaustion and 1d10 psychic damage. I do need to clarify. That's wisdom saving throw versus your spell save DC. These levels of exhaustion are cumulative and may only be removed, as per the rules of exhaustion, with an undisturbed night's sleep. Yes, there we go. If the target succeeds their saving throw, they are unaffected for that night. A remove curse spell cast on the target will not remove the curse, but will grant the suffering individual advantage on their save for that night. A greater restoration spell cast on the target will not remove a level of exhaustion, but will remove that level's effects for 1 day. A remove curse spell cast on the object will end this curse. If the object is located and destroyed, the curse ends, but the target takes 1d10 psychic damage. This is something that still needs a little bit of balance, I am aware. The balancing parts would be exhaustion cannot go above 3 levels, because, at 6 you die. That's a lot for something that you get at 5th level.
Yeah.
You can only have 1 Nightmarish Curse active at a time. You must end the first in order to start another on a new target. But I think that would be a fantastic and flavorful way for witches to curse. Without it just being limited to bestow curse and such. So I will throw that in here as a suggestion. I can't even suggest anymore. Thanks, Google Docs.
Dang. And oh man. So I will say, Rex, you mentioned not wanting to spend too much time on classes, but like looking through this, maybe we should try to go through it a little faster, because there's a lot to go through.
There is, in fact, quite a lot to go through. Let me throw my suggestion into that suggestion box. Ooh. Language, of course, would need editing that.
Mhm.
But I just wanted to get you started. You know, something like that would be a bit more flavorful. And you're right, I don't want to spend forever on classes because there are a bunch of other things to get through. So let's get through Poisons Be Gone and Diseases Beware. At 9th level, working with many potions, poisons, and antidotes. For poisons and diseases, has made you immune to poison and resistant to disease. So, and then that edit would be you may roll with advantage on saving throws against diseases.
I think it would also be cool is if the witch could inflict diseases upon people. Like,
yeah,
as part of this ability, that you know, you gain immunity to poison, resistance to disease.
That would be
or
interesting. And diseases are so often forgotten about in campaigns. So that would be interesting. And then we skip to our 20th level, Mastered Potions. At level 20, all potions and your poisons granted by your study at level 14 can be made twice a day. All potions and poisons last twice as long. And your skill at potion making has doubled the duration of all your concoctions. I would also add to that, because once you're getting up to high level potions, gold is going to be an issue. Like, even though you're crafting them yourself, it's still, if potions are going to be the focus of this class, I really think that you should have decreasing costs. So maybe at a previous level you also throw in you only need half the material cost of potions in order to make them, and then here you you only need a quarter of the material cost of potions to make them, and here you would do there we go. And then that gives you so much more versatility. It's much more impactful for a 20th level thing because you are cutting gold costs significantly, as well as those duration increases. Root of all beers.
Yeah,
I see your suggestion.
agree.
Magical haggling. Give me a little bit more context, Root of all beers. Would this be a spell? Because I feel like it would be a spell. I'm very interested to make that. So, Gabby, fantastic class so far. I think
the 20th level name, the ability name for the 20th level would be Magical Haggling.
Oh, I see. Yeah, and that would be interesting, but we also have, the fact that it's the potions and poisons granted by your study at. Oh, no, I see. I see what you mean. Yeah, so I'd say. I would say maybe at what do we have? Just so that you don't lose track of that was, and don't forget that fifth level ability just needs to be tweaked for language. I threw it in there as a suggestion, but it still needs to be tweaked so that it fits into the class. But anyway, maybe at... What would you say, Maru? What would be a good level to cut the cost to a quarter? Would it just be, like, make it even, stick it in at 10th level?
Oh, to a quarter? Um, well, let's see. I think where to go? Oh yeah, the curses thing is at level 5.
Mm-hmm.
But also at 5th level is when you're able to produce more potions. Yeah, I think level 10 would do good for a quarter.
Yeah, then it's an even split because at first level, it's
Yeah,
half the cost.
at level 5 it's half the cost.
Well, it's actually at level 1 that it's half the cost. Because. Oh, unless you're talking about, like, we're having the cost of ingredients rather than just, like, half the cost of the actual potion. Which makes this much more powerful, but given the focus on potions and how this class revolves around them, you're going to be going through gold like a whirlwind. So I don't think that that's a bad idea. Let's do. So what?
Eye of Equality increases likeliness to encounter better quality items, especially in shops.
Ooh, that would be interesting. I need to obtain focus. Let's see. Also at 5th level, you have learned to lace your words with guile. The cost of any ingredients purchased for your concoctions is reduced by half. At 10th level, it is reduced to half. At 10th level, it is reduced to 1/4. Now keep my. There we go. Magical haggling. There we go. See how you like that.
See how you like them apples.
Okay.
Well, let's take a look at the archetypes.
Yeah, let's take a quick look at the archetypes. And then I think what I will do, because we have been on this for quite a while, is we will take a pause. And Gabby, I would be happy to continue working with you on this class. If you would like to send me an email, then we can chat over Discord and we can work out some exact details. I can help you through some language. I don't mind doing that. This is a very interesting class. So
Email? Question mark?
I'm editing the class. My email is available like right there. You just have to click on my profile. That's why I said that. So.
Oh, that's what they said in chat.
Oh, yeah. I'm logged in with my Google account. I think I should be visible. So you can literally just send me an email. Otherwise, you are welcome to DM me on Twitter. My Twitter is right there. It's @GrinGamer. Either way works. So, we have 4 different studies that you can choose. Study of blessings, study of harm, study of control, or study of, let's call that summoning. Study blessings is an education based on healing and blessing your allies and yourself. Some people call these kinds of witches white witches. The witches of this and other studies don't really use that term, preferring witches of blessings. I like that. That's good flavor. They tend to be the most well-liked of the studies by the general population and are less common of a class as adventurers, but they do exist. So you learn additional spells when you reach certain levels of the class. Good idea. Learn the guidance cantrip. Fabulous. So we have Bless, Healing Word, Lesser Restoration, False Life, Mass Healing Word, Beacon of Hope, Stone Skin, Divination, Awaken, and Dispel Good and Evil. Fantastic.
I like that.
Yep, fits into the theme very well. Third level, all... so this is Healing Gift. At third level, all healing concoctions add a +1 to all healing dice rolls. Now that does need a little bit of clarification.
Is that like a +1 to each die rolled?
Yeah.
Or is that just a +1 to, like, healing? I actually think it would be cool, or it might be better if, all concoctions, you know, heal additional amount equal to your wisdom modifier.
That's not bad, yeah.
Because a +1 is a little underwhelming for your archetype ability at third level. And there's a lot of other healing classes out there that like do stuff like, you know, if they're unconscious, you heal for the maximum amount of healing.
Yeah,
You know.
so there, I've added that as a comment. So a bonus equal to your wisdom modifier, I think that sounds great. Powering that up a little bit to be more in line. More healing. At level 6, add Elixir of Health and Potion of Heroism to the concoctions you can brew. The concoctions table, level 5 section of table. Alright. I will definitely have to break down and like touch on the potions and stuff separately because that will take a while. At 9th level, whenever you roll dice for the healing of a spell you cast or a concoction, you can re-roll any ones on the dice, and you must take the second result. Also, the healing gift features affect spells. Okay. I quite like that. I might also add, just because this is a 9th level ability, additionally, once per long rest, you may add an amount of healing to your healing spell or concoction equal to your level in this class, and that just makes it a little bit more powerful for a 9th level ability. And then
Also, I like how I like how we got healing gift, more healing, healing of the White Witch, big better healing.
Big better healing. I love it. That is a supremely amusing name for a feature. Big better healing.
It should be, you know, you got healing gift, you should have more healing gift, more healing gift.
Alright, yeah, Potion of Supreme Healing, 14th level, that's great, yes. True Witch of Life. At 18th level, you gain the ability to use the Resurrection ability once per long rest. As you've gained the knowledge through study to do this. Okay, language on this needs to be reworked.
1 year of
resurrection.
your life.
Yeah. So, are we talking?
Oh, wow.
What resurrection are we talking? Because there are a lot of different spells that do resurrection.
I wonder if it's a resurrection spell or if it's raise dead. I think there's a 7th level resurrection spell.
There is, yeah. So,
Yeah, it might just. Yeah, so that bears a question. Is this raised dead? Is this resurrection? Is this true resurrection? Probably not true resurrection. That would be too strong.
right.
Uh
So resurrection costs a diamond worth 1,000 gold pieces. You touch a dead creature that has been dead for no more than a century, that didn't die of old age, and that isn't undead. If its soul is free and willing, the target returns to life with all of its hit points. The spell. Interest. So this is a resurrection spell without the target takes a -4 penalty to all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. Intriguing. So, here's what I would do. The language in this is a little bit confusing. So let's change it to this. At 18th level, you gain the ability to return the dead to life. Once per long rest, you may cast the resurrection spell. Period.
What?
So, sorry, without spending a spell slot. Now,
Or material components.
I'm getting there. So you have the option to cast Resurrection as it is, with all of the negatives and the component cost in there. But now we add in more of the flavor that you already had, which is as part of casting this spell, you may choose to forego the material components, instead sacrificing 1 year of your life. If you do so, the target is resurrected. No, sorry. The resurrected target.
Oh, wait. I have an idea. So the way it is right now, it isn't really any kind of a hindrance, especially to like an elf who it's like, oh, I sacrificed a year of my life. Oh well, only got 750 more of those. Now,
Well,
what if?
Yeah, so this is what I'm getting at is you can do it this way: sacrifice a year of your life instead of the material components. They come back without the -4 penalty, but you expend all of your spell slots in the process. That balances so that you don't have to spend 1,000 gold to do this. They don't have the -4 penalty, so they're back as they were in full, but you are tapped for the day. That is a better penalty, in my opinion.
I was also gonna say that instead of taking off a year of your life, is that you age a year.
Okay.
Because that way you're taking off your life at the beginning instead of at the end. Well, not the beginning, the present. And, if you do it like 10 times in the campaign, then, your character at least shows
Yeah,
that
fantastic
bit of
role-playing
aging.
opportunity there.
Then again, if your party had to be resurrected 10 times, then I feel sorry for
Spending all of
you.
your spell slots in the process. Focusing all of your energy into the act of resurrection. There we go.
All right.
There we go. Okay. Fabulous. I think that is wonderfully flavorful. So we're at 8:05. I am going to put a hold on editing this class, Gabby. I look forward to continuing to edit this with you. It is fabulously flavorful. I really enjoy it. This is one of the witch classes that I've seen that I enjoy. But we're going to move on from classes because classes take forever. And I see that we have several viewers here. So hello, everybody. If anybody has suggestions for things that they would like me to homebrew, up until now we've been working on tweaking existing homebrews, but you are free to throw me any kind of inspiration in the form of names, images, brief descriptions, and I will create homebrews right here. I want to focus now probably on items, spells, things that are quick to do.
Let's see. Weapon of Mercy. A weapon, usually a nightstick, club, or hammer, that cannot strike someone down below 1 hit point.
Oh. Okay. That's interesting.
That's a cool thought.
Yeah, I quite like that. So let me pull up my document here. Stream homebrews. We have weapon.
You're like, I just imagined you're like, I literally cannot kill you with this weapon, but I will keep on beating you with it.
Yeah, something like that. Well, I mean, and I think that the point of it would be, you know, a lot of the times you want to take somebody alive.
Hostage.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you do.
So.
You know, kidnapping people.
So we have Weapon of Mercy. I would say that for balance, this shouldn't be attunement.
Yeah.
Any weapon. Now, would we give that a +1 then? I think it's fair to give it a +1 because it already like can't actually kill anyone. So, any weapon +1.
True. It would. Let's see.
Okay, so we have Weapon of Mercy, any weapon +1. I'll skip over the flavor text for a bit, and we'll just do, this weapon is unable to bring a creature below 1 hit point. I think that if we're going for a weapon that the whole point is to take somebody alive, then let's do this. If you strike a creature that has only 1 hit point remaining, they must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw, or fall unconscious, but alive.
Right.
Let's see. So, or fall unconscious. A creature rendered unconscious in this way does not need to make. No, let's see. In this way, the language would be automatically succeeds all their death saving throws and is considered stable.
And then I have an idea for something whenever we're done with that.
Sure. Yeah, that one is short, sweet, simple. I love it. Thank you for that suggestion, Book of God. You know, Abanas, I think that I'm going to refuse your request to buy followers. Thank you. I don't actually know how to block people in my chat.
But just so you know, you would be one of them.
Yeah. Anyway, it's okay. My boyfriend will handle it.
Mm.
Hello, awkward dictator Jinx. It's lovely to have you. Thank you. I wanted to look extra fabulous today, so I wore my dragonfly glasses. Yay! They're brand new. Ooh.
For a quest to help people teleport to
Mars twin planet allure. So I feel like this is touching on your world's lore. So I have no idea what Aura's twin planet is, but glow diamonds, only found in the Underdark, mushrooms that only grow around portals to the Shadowfell, a rock from space, and a black pearl. Fabulous. I think that'd be a fantastic quest. I have no idea what glow diamonds are, but I'm already excited about them. Mushrooms that only grow around portals to the Shadowfell. Yes, there is so much potential in that quest.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. Multiple locations that your characters are going to have to travel to in order to collect these items. You know, as long as it's more than just a fetch quest, as long as you've got that lore going on around it, wonderful. Pot of Pleasant Growth. A red and black clay pot with runes. Once per day, a random small plant, herb, spice, or sapling will grow from the pot.
Huh.
That sounds adorable and exactly...
It sounds cute.
It sounds like exactly something that Azure would have carried with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Hey,
that.
what's in there today? Pick. It sounds like hell for the GM.
Well,
I feel like a good handful of GMs, or at least the GMs that I have experience with, except you, have trouble with herbalism ingredients list.
yeah, I mean, I'm a witch, so I know all my herbs. So I can just whip those out anytime. But, like, I mean, really, all it needs is, you know, a look at your spice rack. You know, once per day, you just pick a random. You're like, oh, well, today it's rosemary. We
You're like,
mint
hold
now.
on, let me go to the kitchen.
Yeah. It's cute.
What do we got in here?
And it's flavorful. I love it. I mean, there's really nothing more that I
That's
can
good.
add to that item because you've already described it in its entirety.
Yep.
But I'm gonna add that to my little list because all of these are going to be released later on the Unearthed Arcana subreddit and through my Patreon for free.
I have an idea for a potential legendary item.
Okay, give me 1 second to type this out.
But I only have a rough idea. Aside from that, not really any clue as to how to balance it.
Oh, you know what? I want to edit this item slightly. So we've got each dawn, a random plant will sprout from this pot, growing to its full size over the next hour. The plant will typically be a simple herb or flower, but has the chance to be an herb with beneficial
Value?
or alchemical effects.
I think you should write in what percentage that chance is.
Yeah. At the GM's discretion, they may roll 1d20 each dawn on a result of 20. The herb that sprouts is one with medicinal, alchemical, or gold value of their choice. There we go. Simple little edit. Okay, Maru, you had a suggestion.
So, it's an item called Ring of the Nine Dragons. And, the outer ring, is black, taking the shape of a dragon, and the core of the ring has a golden lining and golden like topaz or something embedded at the top of like the dragon's head. And when activated, I was thinking along the lines of it could well, this is a balancing factor that of course would need to be put into effect, because the way it is not balanced at all, because it could transform the user up to as many as 9 people. I'm thinking illusions, but I'm also thinking that it could make up to as many as 9 projected illusions.
Okay, run that back for me because I'm a little unclear as to the effect exactly.
So I'm thinking of well, here's the thing. This effect needs to be made, but what I'm thinking is that along the lines of being able to produce maybe 9 clones or 9 illusions,
Oh.
essentially multiplying themselves up to 9 times, creating exact duplicates of the user. And an interesting thing that it could be is that each one that is brought to life, or each form that is brought out, has a different personality or maturity or emotion.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Gabby, thank you for asking. I take any pronouns and gender fluid myself. They, them, if you're uncertain, but otherwise, I really take anything. Of course, Maru is describing Naruto shadow clones. I know Maru far too well. Maru, do you still have that cardboard cutout of Naruto somewhere?
No, I threw that away when I moved out.
Oh no. Your anime boyfriend is no longer in favor. I see. It's okay. I'm just pulling your leg. So we have.
He's still my anime boyfriend.
Just had a little fight. I get it. So we have. Okay. Legend. So, ring. Legendary definitely requires attunement. And we have once per long rest? Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, it shouldn't have more than one charge for certain, but I'm just trying to decide if if like it's less than once per day. Once per long rest, we'll start there, and I'll add it if I feel that's bad. Once per long rest, you may, let's see, once per long rest, you may twist this ring upon your finger, and speak the command word. The eyes, the topaz eyes of the dragon glow, and illusory duplicates for yourself appear randomly in space.
Oh, so I'm thinking
you.
Something maybe along the lines of like invoke duplicity, but if you could go up to as many as like 9.
So let me run through what I'm thinking, and we can backtrack if you don't like it. So the topaz eyes of the dragon glow, and illusory duplicates of yourself appear randomly in space around you. As an action, you may activate the ring. Roll 1d10, and that many illusory duplicates spawn in the space around you. Each of these duplicates has a unique personality separate from your own and are friendly to you, but outside your control.
Oh boy.
So, I'm making another GM nightmare item here because the GM is going to have control potentially up to 10 new characters. Let's see.
The thing is that it could possibly function as since this is a legendary item, a mirror image up to 10 people.
Yeah. So, but the way that I'm thinking of it, like, they move on their own. They aren't, like, bound to your space, and so, like, if they are of a disposition to listen to you, then sure, they might be mirror images, but otherwise they might just, go off and hassle people. These duplicates last for 1 hour, or until dispelled or destroyed. Each duplicate has 1 HP and an AC of 12.
A what? AC?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, 12
Each
or
duplicate
13.
has 1 HP and an AC of 12. Okay. Let's see, what else? Well, if you're thinking of them acting kind of like Invoke Duplicity, with Invoke Duplicity you can, like, cast spells through your duplicates, right?
Right, you can also, I think, like, see and hear through their location.
Okay. As a bonus action on your turn, you may select one of these duplicates and are able to see, to perceive through their senses. Which is hilarious considering you have no control over them, so they can just be wandering off and you can just see where they're going. I love this. As a bonus action on your turn, you may select one of these duplicates and are able to perceive through their senses. Each duplicate acts on
but God,
their own.
I would say yes. If it is possible to cast spells through their space, I would say yes.
So what I was thinking of is, because, like, there are 9 of these, that's way too powerful to, like, actually be able to cast spells through them, especially since they're outside of the control. But this is what I was going to do. I'll skip ahead to this bit and I'll double back to what I was going to add. So, when you create these duplicates, you may choose to bestow spells upon them, granting them one spell from your prepared spell list.
Then I guess this item would have to be attuned by a caster?
Yes, there we go. Granting them one spell from your prepared spell list, if any, and immediately expending a slot of the same level as that spell. At will, that duplicate may cast that spell on their turn. I'm gonna have to edit the language of this later, following all the normal rules for its casting, yada yada yada. But you get what I mean. It's so you basically like, if you want to give your duplicate Fireball, then as you create that duplicate, you expend a 3rd level slot immediately, and they have 1 cast at Fireball that they can use at will from wherever they are.
Oh wow, that would actually be cool for them being able to cast spells out of your turn.
Yeah, so Book God, it would be any spell from your prepared spells.
Yeah. I think, well, maybe not.
So
The personalities are determined by the GM.
Yeah, the personalities would be determined by the GM. If the
Uh-huh.
GM wants, like, what I would do is create a table of personalities
Uh-huh.
and roll on it, because that,
Yeah.
like, the point of this item seems to be a little bit funny and trickstery, and
Yeah.
that's just, leaving it to chance is funny and trickstery.
Like,
Mhm.
my idea was for it to be like a more powerful mirror image. But I also think having them being able to move around on their own volition would be cool too.
Each duplicate acts on their own, taking a turn. Immediately after yours, and I'd say that they could probably give the help action.
If they want to.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna put a pause on that because I think like at this point all I need to do is tweak it.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the final release. That should be interesting. Book God, we have Lash of Time, a 25-foot whip that can only be wielded by someone proficient in history. Can allow for grappling hook-like tricks. Alright, so we're trying to be Indiana Jones now.
Hey.
I don't mind that. Let's see.
Wait, grappling hook like... Oh, I get it.
Let's see. Lash of Time.
Shouldn't it be called Indiana Jones Whip?
No, because then we run into copyright infringement issues.
Oh.
So Lash of Time. Let's call that a +1 whip.
I have another idea.
One at a time. I can only handle making one thing at a time. So hold on to that thought. Let's see. +1 whip requires attunement by a character proficient in the history skill. Cool, and would allow for grappling hook-like tricks. Interesting. Okay. I want to add something to it that plays on that history skill proficiency, but let's start with the grappling hook. So, as an action, let's see. Well, first, let's see.
Oh my god.
This
Hold
whip
on.
is considered. No, sorry. This whip has a reach of 25 feet. Feet, not feety. And then we have, as an action, you may make an attack against a. Let's see. Oh, you want some cursed items? Jinx, I will get you some cursed items in just a minute. Grappling hook-like tricks. So, how do I write this? As an action, you may make an attack against a solid object such as a beam, pillar, or sturdy branch. Okay, yeah. Such a beam, pillar, or sturdy branch. But should it be an attack? No. Make an athletics check. Pillar or sturdy branch. With a DC of 14. Why not? The DC of 14. Okay. If you succeed, the whip grapples onto this object like a rope and may be you know what, instead of such as a beam, pillar, or sturdy branch, let's say a solid object no more than 5 feet thick with a DC of 14. If you succeed, the whip grapples onto the subject like a rope and may be used to no. On subsequent turns, you may use an action to make an athletics check to attempt to pull this object towards you. If you grapple onto a beam, pillar, or other anchored object, you may use the whip to swing. I'm gonna have to work on the language of this one outside of it, but essentially I'm looking at, like, you know, being able to grapple onto objects as an action. If they're anchored, then you can do stuff like swing or use them to, like, change the way that you can move. And then, of course, we have the as an action, you may as part. No, let's see. Using this whip, you may make contested grapple checks at a range of 25 feet. There we go. That sounds cool. So you can grapple enemies, drag them towards you, do whatever you want. I may actually add to the last time because I really do want to play on, like, proficiency in the history skill. What does that do?
You use it, and then you're like, get over here!
Yeah, exactly. But proficiency in the history skill. So I wonder if maybe, like, it has a number of charges, and, like, you can spend a charge, and, I don't know, swing the... I don't know what to do with that, man. Like, I don't know, swing the whip around and it will point towards some kind of secret or lore within 100 feet.
Oh.
Because I really love the idea that it has to be tuned by somebody with proficiency in history, and I want to play with that. I'm gonna put that in, and I'm gonna work on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do like that idea too.
Now let's see, 0.21. So object or piece of lore within 100 feet. Okay. Lovely, lovely.
Wait, you said it points to a piece, like a history piece?
Like, one historical object or,
Yeah.
something with lore within 100 feet.
Yeah.
Again, definitely
That'd be
needs...
cool.
Yeah.
Aylin wants that whip now.
Yeah, of course she does. Aylin has too many attunements already,
I do.
so...
I think I have like 6 items, but I only attuned to 3.
Yeah, but then you just have one more thing to fret over, like, oh no, what do I tune to today? So, you had an idea, and Jinx wants to see some cursed items.
Oh, well, perfect, because I've got a cursed item that I was about to talk about.
Alright, let's go.
So this is kind of, it's not like as strong as a hand of Vecna or anything, but like this is actually a Mind Flayer cursed item, and it's called Coin of the Mind Flayer, and it's just like a simple like hand size, like maybe palm-sized coin, made out of gold, and on the front of it there is the head of a mind flayer, and I was thinking on the back it would just be the same thing, but I also had an interesting idea of it being like the head of a Githyanki,
Oh.
because I know their lore is connected, but the Githyanki has nothing to do with the effect of the magic item, because what this does is that whenever you touch it, you have to make a whatever kind of intelligence save or wisdom. It would probably be wisdom.
If it's
And
mind
then,
flayers, honestly, it'd probably be intelligence.
well, the reason why I say wisdom is because whenever you touch it, it forces you to become attuned to it, like I would say a lot of cursed items do. And what it does is that it actually gives you proficiency in all intelligence-based skills, including, well, I don't know if I want to do this. Maybe intelligence saving throws, but definitely give you proficiency in all intelligence-based skills. Another thought is giving you expertise in all intelligence-based skills. However, the downfall is that you are now connected to the Mind Flayer hive mind, and your number one goal has now become to help the Mind Flayers take over the surface.
Okay.
Or
Alright.
or
Yeah.
the other idea is your number one goal is to try to figure out a way to activate a portal of some kind to summon the mind flayers to the prime material realm from the wherever they are, the far realm.
Okay. So we have a palm-sized coin made from gold. On the front is depicted the serving face of a mind flayer. We'll deal with the reverse later. I still say intelligence saving throw.
Yeah.
That's how the mind flayers work.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Oh,
it would be an
and
intelligence saving throw.
if you act against it, it would kind of act like a Geass, where you would take like what 10d10 psychic damage, which could kill some weaker level players.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. When you touch this item, you must make an intelligence saving throw with a DC of 16.
Oh, I was saying 18.
Ooh, that's really strong.
I mean, it gives you expertise in all intelligence-based skills.
I was gonna do proficiency because expertise in all intelligence-based skills is ridiculous and also very noticeable. Like, if you want to make this an item that, like, you curse your players with, then giving them expertise suddenly in every intelligence-based skill is going to raise red flags for the rest of the players very quickly. If you fail, this saving throw, you immediately become tuned to this item. If this exceeds your maximum amount of attunements, you must immediately unattune from another item. You cannot willingly become unattuned from this item.
By the way, Mako picked up this item in my campaign.
Oh god.
And it was in one of the earlier rooms in Praetorium.
While you are attuned, you are considered proficient in all intelligence-based skills. Let's add this because you talked about expertise. You may select one of these skills. You may select one of these skills and gain. Let's see. What would the wording be? You may select one of these skills to gain expertise in.
Yeah.
Okay. Curse. While you are attuned to this item, you're connected to the Mind Flayer's hive mind. You share the goals of this hive mind and constantly communicate your activities with them. While connected to the hive mind, your primary goal is to assist the Mind Flayers in capturing, in dominating the known world. You add a little bit. We need to add just a little bit more to this to,
Yeah. I usually say that their number one goal becomes trying to activate a portal to bring the Mind Flayers.
Right, but that may not fit with people's lore in their world, and since we want to make this
True.
kind of setting agnostic, that is better. So you consider it in your best interest to keep this information a secret from everyone you know.
That is true. I forgot that.
And will do anything to keep this secret. You no longer consider your allegiance to lie with any former friends, and will betray them for the betterment of the hive mind, or leverage their unknowing cooperation to further your goals. There we go.
Yeah, players hate this cursed item.
While attuned to this item,
this is almost like the wand you gave me.
Let's see. While attuned to this item, you become possessive of it and refuse to part with it for any reason. There we go. That should fill out the curse very well. Oh yes, psychic damage when you resist. Thank you for that reminder. If you choose to go against the wishes of the hive mind, or let's see. If you choose to go against the wishes of the hive mind, or act let's see.
How is chaos worded, or
Yeah,
what
let's take a look at
spell
that.
is that?
That's a good idea. Let's take a look at chaos.
Because
The
I
way that
think
I think
that's
that that's
one.
worded is
Oh no. Yeah. Uh, you take 5d10 psychic damage each time it acts in a manner directly countering the instructions, but no more than once a day. This one was 10d10 psychic.
okay, once per day. If you act in a manner contrary to these, let's see. If you act in a manner contrary to these commands, or in a way that puts the hive mind at risk, you must, let's call it, you must make an intelligence saving throw, taking 10d10 psychic damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. There we go.
Perfect. Cursed item.
That is a very, very cursed item, everybody. Extremely cursed. Don't touch that item.
Yeah. And the thing is that whenever you see it, it's the whole allure to it is that you have no idea that touching it is going to connect you to a hive mind. And actually, if anything, this item is said to have vast amounts of knowledge. And so it's like, oh, you touch this and you'll be granted immense knowledge.
I mean, it's true.
And then it's like, oh, and by the way, there are literally no drawbacks. Like,
Suspicious.
yeah.
Okay, book guide. We have Cloak of Grace. Adds 1 or 2 AC, allows the user to cast Feather Ball once per day, billows majestically at all other times. On natural ones, the cloak will get caught on something, causing disadvantage on dex saves for 1
Oh my god.
turn. 1 minute? I think 1 turn. Okay, that sounds fun. Let's do that.
Isn't that just like the Cloak of Billowing, but slightly... Hold on.
Well,
Adds
that's... Yeah, the Cloak of Billowing
1/2
literally does nothing but
AC?
billow. No, it's
Adds
1...
1/2 AC?
Not 1/2, 1 or 2.
Oh.
Jinx. Very, very cursed. Do not touch it. How did you know my Instagram bio? Love it. Okay. Cloak of Grace. Cloak. Let's see. A +1 cloak. Okay. Let's see. How do we balance this one out? Cloak of Grace. If it's going to add +1 to AC, but it's going to have drawbacks, I think that for balance, it shouldn't be attunement, and it should probably be a cheaper item. So we'll call that rare or uncommon? What do you think, Maru?
Probably uncommon.
Uncommon? Okay. While wearing this cloak, gain +1 to your AC. Once per long rest, you may speak a command word, causing the cloak to flare out behind you like a magnificent cape. for the... let's see. Once per long rest, while falling, causing the cloak to flare up behind you like a magnificent cape. Until you touch the ground. Let's see, until the next time you touch the ground, you are considered to be under the effects of the Featherfall spell. Fabulous. Let's see, as part of your turn, you may choose let's see, you may throw your hands out dramatically and cause the cape, the cloak, to billow magnificently in a non-existent wind. This has no mechanical effects. Alright, and then for the last piece, when making a dexterity check, or saving throw, or an attack roll, if you roll a 1 on the die, if you roll a 1 on the die, I'll have to edit the language later. Let's see, if you roll a 1 on a die, then... Now here we go, if you roll a 1 on the die, then your cloak becomes caught on some object nearby. Until the start of... until the end of your... No, actually, let's make this worse. As an... while the cloak is caught, there we go, you have disadvantage on all dexterity checks. No, on all skill checks, here we go, and dexterity saving throws.
I just imagine someone getting like hella tangled up in this frickin'.
It's like, oh god,
They're just...
oh my cape! Ah! My magnificent cape!
That's why I said no capes!
Let me just say, I'm going to be giving a character an NPC this item in my campaign. On your turn, you may spend your action to free your cloak.
Oh my god, that's so detrimental.
Yeah.
They're just like spinning and getting tangled and it like...
Yeah, it's not too bad though, because you can. It's detrimental because it wastes your action, but
Yeah.
you know, it's the funny little moment of, oh god, I'm caught, and then you have to spend your action. But like anytime out of combat, it's gonna just lose you a couple of seconds, really.
It would be hilarious D&D moments.
Yes. There we go. +1 cloak, uncommon. While wearing this cloak, you gain a +1 to your AC. Once per long rest, while falling, you may speak a command word, causing the cloak to flare up behind you like a magnificent cape. Until the next time you touch the ground, you are considered to be under the effects of the Featherfall spell. As part of your turn, you may throw your hands out dramatically and cause the cloak to billow magnificently in a non-existent wind. This has no mechanical effects. When making a dexterity check or saving throw, or an attack roll, if you roll a 1 on the die, then your cloak becomes caught on some object nearby. While the cloak is caught, you have disadvantage on all skill checks and dexterity saving throws. On your turn, you may spend your action to free your cloak. Oh. skill checks and dexterity saving throws, and your speed becomes 0. No, sorry, and no, let's see. That's just easier to maintain, and your speed becomes 0. Okay. -0. Yes, Google, that's exactly what I wanted to type. Oh, the cloak from Doctor Strange. Yeah, a little bit like that. Tome of Summon Cat. That sounds cute. Cheshire Cat summoning for the win. Oh, okay, summoning Cheshire Cats means something very different in my campaign.
Oh god.
You
That's...
don't want to do that.
Hold on. That's like artifacts right there.
I summon a Cheshire. Alright, do you want the Astral Lord or the Deathwalker? Neither, please. Thank you. I don't
No,
want to talk
I want the oh god, what's it called? The monk?
the Planar Monk.
I want the planar monk. He sounds like the good one.
Yeah, well, good luck, because I don't have that subclass written yet.
Oh. I think hold on. Give me a brief description of planar monks, I thought.
A brief description? Did I?
Oh, let me check. You said... Maybe you just said planar monk, and then I'm like,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I just said Planar Monk. Only I know what they can do. And only,
planar
I
monk,
only vaguely...
more humanoid of multiple green eyes, pointed eyes, and multitude of arms behind it. Purist appears as almost human, but with cat-like ears and multiple versions spread out behind them. That's what I have.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have the class written yet, so just...
Okay.
You send that to me later, because
Uh-huh.
I may have to correct your information.
Okay.
Smuggler's Boots. A pair of boots that, when attuned to, will allow the user to disguise their footprints, tracks, with that of any animal or creature they've seen in the past week. I'd remove the past week part on that, but let's throw that in here. Smuggler's Boots.
There's...
I
think there is a, what's it called? Dust of Tracelessness?
Yeah, but that's a consumable.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like it just does the same thing, but in a more permanent item.
Yeah, but let's throw this in here with the flavor in. So, boots requires attunement. Let's throw the flavor in here. A magical set of boots favored by smugglers and criminal elements of all kinds. As well as seasoned spies. They allow the wearer to disguise their tracks as nothing more than those of a simple beast. So, as a bonus action on your turn, you may speak speak the command word along with the name of a beast that you have seen before. I'd say we remove the 1 week limit. So, mechanically speaking, while the boots are altered, creatures have disadvantage on wisdom. I can spell wisdom, survival checks made to track you. And no feature, no non... Let's see. Oh, and no feature that would... No, sorry. And features that would identify the type of creature that left... hold on. While the boots are altered, creatures have disadvantage on wisdom survival checks made to track you. Your tracks become indistinguishable from those of the beast you named, and features that would identify the type of creature that left these tracks will identify the tracks as belonging to a single beast of that type. Putting that in because rangers have the ability to be able to determine, like, you know, the amount and type of creature that left the tracks. So we just need to be clear on that. Oh, Jinx. Why does everything need to be cursed? Okay. So as a bonus action on your turn, you may speak the command word along with the name of a beast that you have seen before. While the boots are altered, creatures have disadvantage on survival checks made to track you. Your tracks become indistinguishable from those of the beast you named, and features that would identify the type of creature that left these tracks will identify the tracks as belonging to a single beast of that type. Let's change that to follow your tracks. Your tracks become indistinguishable. Should I leave it at that? Or should there be more to it?
So, say it again? So while you're typing, you're like...
Yeah, I know. So as a bonus action on your turn, you may speak the command word along with the name of a beast that you have seen before. While the boots are altered, creatures have disadvantage on survival checks made to follow your tracks. Your tracks become indistinguishable from those of the beast you named, and features that would identify the type of creature that left these tracks will identify the tracks as belonging to a single beast of that type.
Huh. I mean, you're still leaving tracks, though.
If somebody just comes along the tracks, you know, they're not going to be like, this is a person, a smuggler is moving here or something. They're going to be like, this was a dog.
True.
And why would they follow the tracks of a dog?
Actually, I think that item is good then.
Okay, cool. We'll leave that as is then.
So, another thing I was thinking of, do you know what a diwa is?
Sort of. And I do think that we're going to call the stream to a close soon, because it is 9:04, and I think I might do a couple more items. We might run until 9:30, just so that I have more stuff to post. Diwa, let me look this up.
Sorry, not a diwa, a biwa with a B.
Oh, interesting. So Japanese short-necked lute.
So the idea that I had for this item, it's actually taken from Demon Slayers, and it could be as powerful or not as powerful as it was in Demon Slayers, but what it was is that whenever they strummed this instrument, that it would either rotate the room that they were in to essentially alter your direction of gravity, and like suddenly, so like all of a sudden you're in a room and then they strum it once, and then the ceiling has now become the floor, and so you would just fall up until you hit the floor, with the ceiling being your new center of gravity. And it could also cause you to go into a different realm, even, where it could pull you through multiple rooms, altering your position of gravity over and over, almost causing you to tumble in space.
That sounds like that would be complicated to design. But with just the gravity effect, that is particularly easy. And I know that in my camp, so we have reverse gravity.
Yeah.
Oh, like an MC Asher painting? Yeah, that would be...
I think having it just probably only alter your position of gravity by itself would have been good. And if you strum it multiple times, you could maybe affect somebody to effectively tumble in air.
I've got it. I've got this. Okay, so what do you think about this? As an action, you can strum the lute and cast reverse gravity centered on yourself. You are unaffected by this spell, but all other creatures must make their saving throws as normal. Additionally, rather than simply reversing gravity, you may choose the new orientation for gravity. As a bonus action on each of your subsequent turns, as long as you maintain concentration on the spell, you may strum the lute again and change the direction of gravity.
Oh, dude, that sounds so awesome.
Alright, let's do it. Okay, I like this. Alright, so what do we call this?
Let's see. I mean, they're... I'm thinking... maybe...
And I'll get to yours, Book God, too. The cool ice mint pills, I think those are hilarious.
I'm thinking, like, falling star? But that's just because I'm thinking...
Be what a perspective shift. All good, all good. What about, the, Biwa Graviton, or like Graviton Biwa? I don't know. Sounds kind of cool.
Graviton Biwa.
Let's see.
Biwa of altered gravity? No.
I mean, yeah, if we want to go with classic D&D stuff, but you know, I love to name things crazy stuff. Let's see. I mean, we could just go the cop-out route and translate gravity into Japanese, so... Juryoku? No?
Juryoku.
Juryoku? Jiroku Biwa. I'm butchering the pronunciation. I'm sorry to anybody who speaks Japanese. Let's just we'll call that the working name. If you want to make other suggestions later.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could just imagine like somebody having this item could be like a boss where you're like, how the heck am I supposed to do anything?
There we go. Okay, so Legendary Biwa requires attunement. As an action, you may cast the spell Reverse Gravity centered on yourself. You are unaffected. Once per long rest as an action. There we go. Once per long rest. As an action, you may cast the spell Reverse Gravity centered on yourself. You are unaffected by this spell. Additionally, instead of reversing gravity, you may choose the direction in which gravity orients itself within the radius of the spell. As long as you maintain concentration on this spell, you may spend your bonus action. Ooh, I butchered that spelling. Bonus action on each of your turns to strum the instrument once more. When you do so, you may select a new orientation for gravity. Any creatures within the radius even if they are already holding onto objects, must make new dexterity saving throws to grab onto fixed objects. I'll tune that up later. But once per long rest as an action, you may strum the instrument and cast the spell Reverse Gravity centered on yourself. You are unaffected by this spell. Additionally, instead of reversing gravity, you may choose the direction in which gravity orients itself within the radius of the spell. As long as you maintain concentration on this spell, you may spend your bonus action on each of your turns to strum the instrument once more. When you do so, you may select a new orientation for gravity. Any creatures within the radius, even if they are already holding onto objects, must make new dexterity saving throws to grab onto fixed objects. Let's see, that would be... I need to specify, let's say, charisma is your spellcasting modifier for this spell, because not everybody's a spellcaster. So there we go. Oh god, a room full of caltrops and throwing daggers with this? Yeah, okay. That would be horrifying. Absolutely horrifying.
I wonder, what if you were able to also just target one person?
I think it's already very powerful. Like, Reverse Gravity on its own is a 7th level spell.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and,
true.
like, part of its balance is the fact that all creatures within the radius are affected. So, first of all, like, the fact that you aren't is big. So then allowing you to only target one creature would be big.
Okay.
Forced levitation on one person, yeah, true. Okay, so we have cool ice mint pills. I think I will make this the last item that I create for today. Let's call it Pills of Wintergreen. I don't know. No, what's the... No, there's no pun. I wish I could think of a pun that I could make on like extra gum or something like that. Or what's the other one for a clean mouth? What's that one called?
Orbits?
Orbits.
Dirty mouth, clean it up with orbits.
Not a sponsor.
That's true.
But they could be. Okay.
It is stuff orbits.
So I'll stick with what I've got because I don't know what pun I can make with that. Wondrous item. No attunement required. 5 pills come in a package. If found in a hoard, roll 1d4 plus 1 to see how many pills are remaining. Let's see. Ice breath. Ice breath. Is ice breath a spell, or is that just some...
No, it would be like Cone of Cold or like
Yeah.
Dragon Breath with the ice version set to it.
Dragon's breath is out of Xanathar's, right?
I think so.
Just looking. Okay, second level transmutation. Okay. Yeah, okay. So let's do it like that. As a bonus action on your turn, you may consume one of these pills. Your breath becomes minty fresh.
Yes, minty fresh.
Minty fresh and pleasant. As part of this bonus action... no, sorry. For the next minute, you are considered to be under the effects of the Dragon's Breath spell, using cold as the element. You do not need to concentrate on this spell. Sorry, so clarification for the Dragon's Breath spell at second level, using cold as the element. You do not need to concentrate on this spell. How's that? I don't know where these bots are finding me. So sorry. Okay. User feels cool and fresh for days afterward. Yeah, sorry. I'm too small for a Twitch mod, so I don't have anybody to clean up my chat. But I'll ban them after I'm done. I'll figure out how to do that. Never had to before.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. We'll just add for flavor. For 1d4 days after you consume a pill, you feel fresh and clean.
Oh god. we should have done Mr. Haversham's items.
Oh no, Mr. Haversham. Okay. I think that is good.
Yeah.
I will tweak these up later. But we ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 items. Wow, that's fantastic. So, for anybody still watching, we are going to wrap up the stream here. Thank you so much for participating. All of the items that I have created today are going to be available on r/unearthed arcana. I'll be posting those free for everybody. If you don't follow that subreddit, then you are welcome to find my Patreon. That's patreon.com/thegrinninggamer. All of these will be released for free, no subscription necessary. But if you do want to support my streams, feel free to subscribe. Thank you, Maru, for joining in today. It has been fantastic to have you. Your input has been wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to Book God for all of these suggestions. Thank you to Gabby for sharing your witch class with us. And we will be streaming in next week, Sunday at the same time. I think that we'll be resuming my Living Lore Q&As that week. Also, look for potentially more streams throughout the week. We'll see if I have the time in between filming to do them. I'd like to start doing more than once a week. But anyway, it's been wonderful to have you. If you missed most of it, just look on YouTube as it goes up. And I will be seeing you all again next Sunday. Until then, keep grinning, everyone.